Hello and welcome to Nitro Talk. How is everyone doing? I really hope everyone is doing really good. I'm doing good. I am very glad to be back. It's been a while since I made a video. I've said that before. But I want to make a video today about castor oil. And this isn't so much about castor oil as it is my experiences with this here castor oil specifically. I also have the Novarossi N21B3 PS. Originally this was a pull starter engine. I converted it to a bump start. Just for visual aid if we need while we're wrapping here. So, all right, let me start off. First of all, do not add this to your nitro fuel and run it in your engine, especially not this. If one was to want to add castor oil to their nitro fuel and run it in their nitro engine, it needs to be degummed castor oil. I bought this 10 or so years ago, and I hadn't done enough research. I thought that this was, just plain castor oil, right? No taste, nothing added to it, is what I figured I was going to be good, right? Because there was nothing added to this castor oil. But actually what you need for running in nitro engines is castor oil that has had something removed from it. You want the degummed castor oil. Now, even that, I personally don't recommend. I don't think it's something that's needed. I think that today's engines and fuels are made to work together perfectly, and nothing needs to be messed with. But many years ago, and maybe even not that long ago, I have been known to like to experiment with things, right? I kind of like to pave my own way and figure it out for myself. So I had went to Walmart and bought this castor oil at Walmart, which is used as a laxative, castor oil. Drink it. But I had purchased this to add to my nitro fuel, really for break-in. And here's where that comes from. All right, so I have done a lot of research into nitro engines. I love reading stuff, right? And stuff like this Ultimate Nitro Engine Guide is an awesome book. I've read it front to back, multiple times. But there is this one little sentence in here, and yeah, this has some water damage, but it's still good. Right here, so this is in the break-in section, okay? We're talking about break-in in this section of the book, and this here we're talking about lubrication, okay? And so this is what I'd read, right, that made me go and seek out some castor oil. Personally, I like a little castor oil mixed with the synthetic because it offers some protection against engine damage in the event that you run hot because of a lean needle valve setting. Overheated castor forms varnish that helps protect the piston. Of course, you must disassemble the engine occasionally to clean this varnish off. We'll get into that here very shortly. So, I read stuff like that, right? And I wanted to do my own experimentation. So, I went and I got this castor oil. I added some, I don't remember the ratio, but that was something that I also did some research into. Funny how I didn't find out the degummed thing until after I did all this. Or maybe I did and I still wanted to try this. I don't really remember. This was a long time ago. But I had also researched the percentage. How much castor oil should you add for break-in? This was really, I was doing this for breaking in an engine. Okay. So I add the castor to the nitro. I put it in the engine. I start and run the engine. The engine starts and runs. No problem. So remember how the book said that the castor oil will form varnish on the internal parts of your engine. And that it will do. And this stuff, the non-degummed castor oil, it does it to a much greater extent, right? What had happened was, I think maybe 2 tanks or so in, the engine locked. Was running in the middle. It was sitting and idling, purring, right? Didn't sound off or anything, and just boom, stopped, shut off. And when I went to look at it, it was the flywheel was, you couldn't turn it. The engine was locked into, the piston was stuck in the cylinder, right? So I obviously, dealt with it. I took the engine apart, cleaned it out, and I'm pretty sure, I don't really remember. I probably gave it another try. Maybe thinned it out some. Maybe added that castor oil mixed fuel with some fresh fuel to dilute the castor. I think I maybe tried that. I tried a couple things, but pretty much it was depositing a very thick layer of, and degummed is a perfect term because it is gummy, the stuff that forms on there. It's not rock solid and slick. It's kind of sticky. And it gums and stops the engine up, right? Okay, so at that point, I'm like, all right, well, my castor oil experiment has failed, and that was that. But in seeing what it did, right, and kind of thinking about it, I got to thinking about it, and I said to myself, I wonder if you had an engine that was losing compression, that was moving, on later in life, and was starting to get loose and was soon in need of a pinch, right? An engine that is going to need a pinch soon. I thought, how about using this castor fuel in an engine like that, right? Form up some varnish on the piston to increase the compression, right? So the piston and sleeve had a loose fit, right? It's worn out, needs a pinch. The additional mass, the castor oil on the piston and inside the cylinder, right? It coated everything inside the head button, right? Just coated everything inside the engine, all the way down onto the piston, the rod, right? Everything. Coated it with varnish. How about trying to use that varnish to take up that extra space and do what I called, when I thought about it, the castor pinch, right? Take an engine that is low on compression, in need of a pinch, run some castor fuel through it, right? This gummy castor, to form a varnish on there, thus giving it compression again, right? That was my idea. That was the hypothesis, right, that I went on to test. And I can say that I did have a little success. So in testing my castor pinch theory, I would take an engine that was, you see the signs of an engine that is starting to lose compression, right? Tuning issues, loss of power. And then you go feel the flywheel and it goes right over top dead center, right? An engine that you know has lost compression and it needs a pinch to run properly again, right? I would take an engine in that state, run the castor through it, right? And the engine would improve. The engine would improve. It would get a real nice solid idle. It would respond to tuning and it would run good for a short period of time. That was really the thing. There was really no, and I didn't do exhaustive research on this, but I tried a couple times to, it was the amount of castor fuel that you run through it, right? Not enough, and it's not going to really pinch it, right? Too much, and then it just gums up and it won't run because it's gummed up and it wants to lock up from too much. And I never was able to get a perfect happy medium that would run for any extended period of time. I would probably get maybe a few tanks. After I run like a tank or two with the oil, it would improve, and then I would switch over to standard fuel, right? And what that kind of did was almost wash away the varnish, right? The clean nitro fuel kind of diluted and took the varnish that had built up from using the castor fuel. So it would work for a little small period of time, but it was ultimately deemed a failure because I couldn't really make it work, like I said, over and over again for an extended period of time. So, anyways, I saw the old castor oil there on the shelf, and I don't think I told my castor tale. So I figured I would do that. Anyone who's still here, it looks like I think I did a little bit of modification to this. Like I said, this was originally a pull start engine, and it's a Novarossi backplate, but the clearance, it was a little off, so I had to, I think, open up that gully there a little bit. It was tapping. But I did eventually get it to work, and I ran a lot of gas. I tell you what, you can see there that's a Novarossi backplate that's seen some gallons through it. Head button as well, and you can tell that's no spring chicken, as they say, right? All right. Anyone who's still here, thank you very, very much for joining me. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, I would like to get into where I've been, why I haven't been uploading videos for months now. I don't even. My guess is 4 to 6 months. I don't really. It's been a while, but this is Nitro Talk with Todd, not Todd Talk with Nitro. So I'll try to keep it on the and maybe here and there we can discuss other things. But it's great to be back. Thank you very much for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon. Thank you very much. Have a great day.